They're back for the first ever returning guests, Devin Hayes and Dawson Huckabee. Please give a round of applause in your brain, or in real life, but not if you're in public. People are gonna think you're weird, or on drugs, or both. So I'm not bleeping them out every time they cuss. We all cuss too much in this world, and you can get over it, okay? And they were okay with it, but I'm not completely sure how Amy, their manager, will feel. So, Amy, if you're listening to this, I freaking love you, man. You're looking great. You're looking freaking beautiful as ever. And I am sorry. It would take hours that I don't have to do. So, that was me kissing all of your foreheads again. Listen to the podcast. Watch the video. Goodbye.
You're not that sweet.
I need to get a meow.
Can we get a meow, Jax? Just one.
Hey, thank you.
You're listening to With Ben Becker.
For the intro, I want like a dun 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 dun.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now with Ben Becker.
Yeah.
You're fully aware there's a microphone on you, right?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody thinks I'm singing bad.
Well, I've come to redeem myself.
Because you sing all day, so one of them has to be bad.
Before we start
That's
today,
not true, though.
Oh, we sound great, guys.
before we start
Do
today,
we?
I would like to ask you guys to join my frequency.
Meditate
I
together.
hate this already. Welcome back to With Ben
I was a little
Becker.
flat on that note.
He's always got something to say about shit.
I was a little flat. You might recognize me from my 2 to 3 extremely viral TikToks. And if you don't recognize me from that, you might recognize these two from one of their extremely viral TikToks.
Hi, we
More than two, though.
lip sync songs on TikTok, and it surprisingly goes viral.
It goes very well for them. It goes extremely well.
I'm rich.
And I'm Richard.
Show them the bank account right now. Show them the
can't.
digit.
My bank account's actually closed right now because
Let's
there's
pull
less
up the
than
mint.
$100 in it.
So there are a couple things going on today. We are making some gingerbread houses
That's right.
because guess what? It's a freaking Christmas episode.
Christmas.
Christmas.
God damn.
Okay, all right. That got cut. No one knows why we're laughing right now.
Christmas makes me horny.
That was not getting cut.
All right.
Give it in.
Otis, I want to introduce you to the camera.
I just picked my nose on camera. Did y'all see that?
Anybody who's a relatively irregular viewer, this is going to hurt you, isn't it? You're a big baby.
Wow, it's getting so big.
This is Otis. You might have seen us taking him out on a little poop break a couple episodes
He
back.
is
when we were
now
making
10
curry.
pounds heavier.
He's a large dog. He doesn't like my cat. Well, no, he likes my cat. My cat doesn't like him. You can see Jax right now. She's not happy with the fact that I'm just cuddling with this dog. But anyways, that's not the point of the day. I just wanted you guys to know why there's going to be noise. And why this fucking dog is
Excuse me.
probably my favorite dog ever. And
He tops.
oh, shit! I'm sorry, Nina. I'm
No,
sorry.
you're not sorry. You said it.
When you're
and
with
you
a
meant
dog
it.
every single day, you can't not fall in love with it.
And when you don't have your guard up of saying you have to say Nina's dog is your favorite dog, you'll say what's the honest truth. And the honest truth is that Otis is his favorite dog.
All right, you guys can figure this out in
I
the comments.
thought I was becoming a dog person until I met Otis.
Shut the fuck up.
He's a good dog.
Thought I was becoming a Devin person, then he says shit like that.
Both of you got props on that one. That was good. Here, I'll move these. We can toss these over if you guys aren't gonna want them. So I think the first thing on the board is I want to ask you guys, what is Christmas to you and your families? Let's get cheesy right off the bat.
Dawson, would you like to start?
Well, I come from a very religious place. So God's birthday,
What was the look for?
I was like, where's this going? He's got such a good pause going on. Is this?
I wanted to make y'all think I was
Where you
going to
want
say
me
something terrible.
I'll hit your ad libs. Do it again.
Oh yeah.
So I come from a very religious place.
Please.
Another one. Anyways,
Don't hit your own ad libs.
I wanted to though.
Okay.
Anyways,
You don't have to get that close to the mic.
We all
That-
just
that-
quit on you.
I'm
You're
not getting
alone
intro
here.
to away. Obviously, those reasons.
You guys, let's start over. No! Hang on. Come with me now. Ready? Let's start start over. Okay,
like,
ready?
Okay, no. 5 seconds before we start the
Hold on,
podcast,
hold on.
Dawson's like, as long as I don't do this, I'll be fine. The entire time. He's just like, I don't think we need to start over. I think you guys are underestimating my editing skills.
Okay.
But here, let's pretend.
My complete intentions are to make out with this mic the whole time.
Let's pretend like we did start over. How would you start over? Oh. So how would you start over?
Shit?
Ask us the question again.
Welcome to With Ben Becker. I am with two sexy ass men, and
That's
I
me.
am asking the question.
Definitely me.
What is family and no? Damn it. What is Christmas to you and your family? Dawson Huckabee.
I'm gonna start with God's B-Day.
Big B-Day.
Big
vibes.
B-Day. It's the time of year like everyone in my family, even the ones that don't live right there in that one little spot where everyone else lives. We all come together. It's good family time. We have a couple of traditions. We put out like carrots on the porch for like the reindeer because we don't want to feed Santa. We want to feed the reindeer. They're actually doing the work. That's what we always did.
Threw me for a loop for a second.
We do that. We open gifts and we go to my grandma's and we all eat like the biggest breakfast in the world.
Cool.
Open more gifts, eat some candy. Go to my other grandma's, open more gifts.
So
Yeah.
It's just like family
It's
time.
just big family time.
For Dawson Huckabee, I would say Christmas is family time. What about Devin Hayes?
Yeah, final
I
answer.
think Christmas to me is family time. It is the one day out of every year that I know I'm going to be with my family, and I know it's going to be so wholesome. I use the gift of the holiday to really just disconnect from everything, like my phone and
Yeah.
I feel like if you
my
have
own life.
It's a perfect excuse to not answer any email or phone call or
Yeah,
anything,
right. It's
any kind of
Christmas.
work-related thing.
So
you
I
have the
can,
gift of the holiday. Is that like a superpower though? Because that sounds pretty fucking
Ooh, that's
sick.
cool. But I'm able to give my full attention to those who love, who I love, and
Yeah, it's
who
kind of
love
hard
me.
to do that sometimes. Yeah.
So hard to do that, especially in the world we live in today. So I actually asked a few.
Nice. Good job, Ben. That's the one I kept moving. I probably didn't tighten it.
It's just a perfect time to give my full attention to those who love me and who I love. And it really just sets a lot of perspective back in motion of what our values really should be. And I love gifting now. I had never been a gifter, but like this year and last year has been like the first time where I'm really thinking about my gifts. Not really like just items of like, oh, here's a piece of jewelry that I thought was cool. It's got
It's like
more
you
like,
want to make something that means something
right.
to that
It's got
person
more value
specifically.
behind it, so it's cool. It's a great way to impact the ones that you love as well. So family and making an
giving.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first year I've even bought one gift for anybody.
This is the second. I mean, I've never really like had a year come around where it's like, oh, I have enough money to like spend on somebody other than myself, and like usually it seems like it's really easy to just go,
Right.
I'll save it.
Isn't
you know
it
what I mean?
interesting?
It's usually what
The
my
moment you
excuse
get an opportunity to just like,
Yeah, my
when you
bank
see the
account had an
possible
extra-
smile on someone's face, you're like,
100%.
no, it's worth it.
Isn't it interesting that we do grow up and we start to realize what those values are and what gifting actually
Yep.
is? Because we grow up and we just receive.
I think it comes down to like being taught though that Christmas is all about giving and like all that stuff. It's like you're desensitized to the fact of
Yeah.
how like important it can be.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Christmas isn't about family and all these things. Like
Yeah.
the one thing everyone says, it's about giving. It's about Jesus. And
Maturity
these things.
has a lot to do with it. I feel
Wait,
like.
make sure he's not chewing
No,
on
I'm
this.
holding
Okay,
out of his
very
way.
good.
That's why it pulled.
Thank you.
Growing up and maturing and realizing this, I feel like has a big play in what Christmas is, especially when, I don't know, you kind of formulate what it means to you, based on what you had in your childhood, based upon like what you had in your own programming, in your world. So I don't know. It's just really cool to be sitting here with you guys before Christmas and to be able to build a
Give this
gingerbread
year,
cottage kit.
I think for me it's very similar to on both of yours. I've never really seen giving as something like that I had an opportunity to do until these last couple years. It's definitely been a big family thing. For me, it was definitely a big religious thing as well. And there's usually been a lot of tradition that came with my family's holidays, but this year it's almost like we've had plenty of drama in just our widespread family, but like my family, like my parents and my brother, we don't split. Like that's the core. And it used to be that, we were going to like grandparents and then uncle and aunts and then all these things, but that's just different now. And it's almost like this is the first year where my parents and everybody were just like, these traditions mean a lot to us, but what if we just spend time together somewhere else? And so like mom and dad and Jack showed up here for Thanksgiving, and it was like the biggest blessing ever. I had such a blast. And then now we're going on like a vacation to Florida for like through Christmas. We'll be golfing and
amazing.
all this fun
That's
stuff.
beautiful.
There's
Yeah,
something
and,
really
like-
cool about like letting go of what you used to do as a kid for Christmas,
Yeah.
and then now do like your new traditions as an
And
Yeah,
adult
it's like-
family.
that's
you
a
know?
big thing to teach to just people around the world, because I've been asking strangers like, are you excited for Christmas? And the most answers I get is like,
doesn't
it's
feel
negative
Christmassy.
because it's different.
Tell
it's
'em
gonna be
about-
different.
It's like that for
That's
everybody.
okay if it's going to be different.
It's like that for everybody this year. I feel like because like a lot of people died from COVID,
yeah,
or like
right.
grandparents died from other reasons,
Right,
you know?
or different circumstances, like something's being switched up or
Dude,
something.
tell them about the conversation you had a couple days ago with that clerk, dude. That broke my heart.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I was in Kroger and I was just doing my grocery shopping and stuff, and I approached this lady working at the cash register, and I just started having a little conversation with her, and I was like, "Hey," and she said, "Hey."
I'm already thinking how much I have to mute him. It's fine. It's fine. He's telling a very nice, heartfelt story.
And I was talking to the lady, and I was just asking her. I was like, "How are you?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm all right." And I was like, "Are you excited for Christmas this year?" And she just like took a big breath, and I could tell she was just starting to be, and she went into like a negative space, and she was just like, "No." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "It won't be the same." And I was like, "Why will it not be the same?" She's like, she went on to say how her stepdad actually just passed away a week prior to then. I was like, "Wow, just a week ago your stepdad passed, and you're still coming to work, and Christmas is still around the corner. Like nothing changes, but
Everything changes.
yeah, but everything changes at the same time." So instantly, I just felt like so much sympathy for her, and I asked her if she wanted a hug. She looked like she wanted a hug, and she stood there, and she was just like. And then she went around the counter towards me, and I gave her a big hug, and she started crying, and I started to get emotional too. And
Make that what your Christmas is about, please.
I mean, no.
just
down.
giving back
We
and,
might
and
need to
listening
put
to
'em up.
others.
I was thinking that.
just giving.
Y'all do your thing. I'm gonna put him up.
Here, no, put some coffee up since you wanted some coffee, and toss him downstairs and
There you
grab it
go.
on the way up.
There you go.
No, dude, that story, like when you told me a couple days ago, I was just like, oh, because first off, we've been talking about like not usually, in the year that I've gotten closest with you is like since we're roommates. At the beginning of it, it was a lot more difficult for you to kind of talk about emotions that even you were feeling.
Yeah.
But even just in this last month or two, you've been more along the lines of talking about like your true feelings about people you might not even know.
Right.
And like the amount of conversation, like you'll come back with a story of just how this interaction changed not only your thoughts, but maybe theirs.
Right.
Like I'm trying to see, I'm always good at that in some situations, but there's a really easy headspace that anybody can get into that just next thing you know, you're not paying attention to the other people. You're so in yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And so to be able to get out of that is like almost impossible. But once you do it, you start meeting people that like
Exactly.
need your energy.
Exactly. You're granted a gift with when you go through a dark time or a dark season.
Yes.
When you're able to pull yourself out of that, you start to realize like, wait a second, I wasn't alone. There's a lot of people that are probably going through the same things that I once did or that I am currently. And you start in your perspective and your heart starts to open up and blossom for those.
Yep.
And you start to understand kind of why we're living too. Just
Once
to be
you
there for
realize
one
how
another.
many people are actually going through more than what, like not, going through more than what you're going through, but like how even the smaller things, you might be dealing with some of the biggest stuff that you've ever dealt with. And it's like just groundbreaking, earth shattering stuff for you.
Yeah.
You get through that and realize there's like 15 people around you going through either the exact same thing or worse.
Right.
Like just at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to be like, I fixed it. I don't want to associate myself with people who could bring me back to that place. But in the exact same mindset, associating yourself with people who need it, knowing they need it, not expecting to get something out of them, but to help them is one of the craziest.
And that's exactly what
Impact
you
you can
did for
have.
me. You understood that I was going through a season, but you also understood that you weren't going to just swoop in and be my hero complex.
Yeah, I didn't
"Hey,
just tell you
this
what
is
to
what you
do."
need to do. You're like, "Hey, I'm here for you. Whenever you want to talk, come downstairs and talk to me. Open up about it, and I'll do what I can to just listen." And that meant a lot, And we were still able to interact and have fun with that in the air,
Yep.
and you were just, you didn't treat me any differently.
Some of our interactions started kind of cycling around that, where we were
right.
like, yo, we haven't hung out in a while. It's probably because we're all a little sad about something.
Right.
Let's force it, sit in a room, and get like a 10-pack or 12-pack and just talk.
Right.
And like, dude, like the first night we did that, I was the one who pushed it. I was the one who was like, yo, I can tell something's up with you guys. Like, let's talk. And 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, I'm crying, like bawling my eyes out, like, dude, I broke my ankle. I can't walk. Life's over. And you guys are like, it's okay, bro. Like, you just moved back to Nashville and you can't walk. Think about the positives that you're pushing through. And so, like, seeing that with you guys, bonding with you guys in that first moment was big, but also just getting used to knowing that I had two people that I could just talk about my exact thoughts, my exact feelings was nice, because I hadn't had that in a while. We're getting real sappy. The moment you left, we just started making out, basically, with our words.
We're talking about that one night we all three. No, you're still in it.
Yeah, we just started.
We're talking about that night that we all three sat down and we just opened up to one another and talked about what we were going through, and it was an open space and we were listening. And
I miss those days when we cried together.
I know, right?
I think we all cried that night.
Yeah, bro, we got real emo.
Yeah,
I
but
have an
no.
emotional block up, so I only shed out
To
tears.
generalize this entire story, just do your best to put your best foot forward to everyone around you, not just your loved ones, but I mean, the rest of the population should be our loved ones too. We're all human, we're all the same, but different in so many ways, and that's the beauty of it. So just reach out to somebody that.
Come on, woke king.
For real, Devin's making me feel good.
Oh,
He's been microdosing.
oh, I'm sorry. That one sent me.
Food, the water has been swallowed. I feel like with the amount of spiritual awakening you've had, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. So.
No, I'm in a better
That's why I
space
say
now.
that shit. Because it's just been like
the
the
past month, dude, Devin has gone from like, Devin's always been a very like open with his feelings type of guy, I would say.
Yeah.
But this month has been more of like, here are my feelings about your feelings. So it's not like this is what you have to do, but it's like, here's how I'm seeing what you're seeing. And that's like to have that perspective is nice, but you've never done it before. So it's nice. It's new. I like it.
Thank you for that
We
recognition.
like the new Devin.
Thank you, guys.
I wouldn't say it's a new Devin. It's just.
New version.
Did I break my mic? What's going on here?
I don't
Tighten
know.
this so tight.
I did it for a couple of different reasons.
All bad. All
Should
bad
I
reasons.
list them?
Wait, hold on. You did that?
Yeah.
What? Well, I'm confused.
We're just gonna leave it like this.
Okay.
I don't want to mess with it all day.
Yeah, right.
I don't think we got anything else other than some gingerbread houses to make.
Yeah,
What do you
man.
guys have any other thoughts? You want to talk about some
We can
bull and stuff?
continue to talk while we.
I agree.
While we
It's-
ginger.
yeah, while we ginger.
And that's you, Dawson.
Oh my god. I think for me the best option, which this is getting a little saggy. The best option is to like just do it around this, but if at any point you just want to move your mic away and pull it back when you're talking, that works too.
Is this okay right here?
So, yeah,
Okay.
seems to be. And at
I
any
can't wait
point
to
you
do
want to
this.
tighten this, all you do is pull this knob, push it forward as far as you can, and start twisting it the other way.
Okay. I would like to sacrifice myself to have the beaten up box.
Oh, bro, we were gonna pick straws.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, you don't have to just give yourself the bad one. We have one box I didn't really notice was
we can get the good ones.
no.
I wanted to build the bad one.
You want to build the bad one.
I just
Let's have a
want.
contest.
I want to make the most out of what's broken.
All right, so we're not gonna pick straws. Devin wants the
There's some
possibly
psychology
broken.
behind what Devin just said.
I'm going to move myself out of
Is a savior complex.
I'm going to move myself out of that space, and I'm going to come into having fun with the boys. So let's fuck some shit up. Enough of that sim shit. All right, let's fucking.
I think these might be different. Yeah, this one's different than that one. It's
got nerds in
This
it?
one's the messed up one. Or no, this one's the messed up one.
These are the same. That's
I want this one because it has nerds, sweet tarts, and runts.
We can twin. Look at this.
Oh, I feel how messed up it is. I can't wait.
Wait, are you
every
sure that's the bad one or
gingerbread,
that?
Oh, this
wall
is the
be
bad one.
shattered.
Yeah,
This one's bad. I
I'm
hear
hearing a lot of crumbs,
Dude,
bro.
don't worry, bro. We will build it
He
from the
can
ground
icing
up.
it together. I know he can reconstruct it.
Come
We
on.
might just do one
He can do
intact
all
house
things through
together.
Christ.
We can make all gingerbread houses through Christ who strengthens. Wheat. I was trying to say wheat or like some cookie phrase.
Guys, nothing's wrong with it. Woo! Let's go.
Yeah! All right. Shit. Well, Dawson's out.
Did you hear that laugh?
Meh.
Forget about it.
Forget about
Found the icing.
Let me
Two
see your
nozzles.
Tootsie Roll.
Watch mine be broken.
Do you have to
Let's go.
mush this? Oh, just squeeze it a little bit.
You
get
squeeze it
going.
up. You put the top on.
I might have a little bit of an advantage because my mom has a natural talent of making cakes and cupcakes.
But you aren't your mom.
I am my mom.
I like both of these sides.
I like all of your sides.
Thank you, thank you. One of them's getting
I
round.
like your backside.
I told you Christmas makes me horny.
Let's get going, please.
Yeah, I would say for the sense of good sound quality, get all of your stuff out of as much plastic as you can and get rid of that plastic.
Okay.
So that way, as someone's talking in the
Keep the
future,
rings off so
you
I
hear
can
less of
focus.
it. So I thought this would come with one of those things at the bottom that you like put.
I guess the cardboard is that
Yeah,
thing.
you got to do it just on the cardboard. So
Can't get this ring off. It's stuck.
I feel like I'm in Squid Game trying to open this without breaking it.
same, honestly. I'm getting rid of my mic for a little bit.
So how do we need to figure out how to use these tips in these icing? I think we need to cut these open, right?
The tip on this, but you have to put this in here.
Right. And then I think you have to make an opening down here if there's not already one.
So you put it through the inside and then cut it on the outside.
That's a good idea.
Poke a little hole in the bottom, and you put all the shit, all the icing.
Here, let me get us
You
some
open
scissors.
this, put the icing in the top. Put a little hole here.
Yeah, you put it like through here.
Oh, look, guys, you have different designs too.
Yeah. This will be one of the challenges. How do you do this? I don't know.
I'm gonna go through the outside. Look, I pull it through. But if I cut it, it's gonna come out.
I don't know.
I'll get us some scissors.
Fuck it.
Scissors are for the weak.
My mom would kill me if she saw me biting something and ripping it. She's a manager of a dentist office.
Bro, Devin's mom, I chew my fishing line. Like I cut my fishing line with my teeth. My teeth are fucked.
Oh, you're fine. I thought you didn't need no scissors. You wore.
That's some good icing. I don't think I'm gonna make it through without eating more.
You said, "Oh,
God damn.
there you go."
Mine's working.
You're worried what?
What?
I don't know. I'm just trying to learn.
You look like you were judging something. Was it him eating frosting?
Kinda.
Dude, I'm gonna be doing that all day. We're not eating these.
I just honestly trying to see what he was doing, like so I can know what to do.
facial recreation of what I saw.
Bull, compare the two. Put them back to back. Let's see how spot on it was.
All I know is I'm doing fine.
That's all that matters.
Okay.
Ah!
Thought that was a toy.
You don't have the rocks to cut the edge of that.
I might be making a mistake by not putting this. Oh wait. Nice. This is new. This is a good idea. I would recommend doing this because now it's like pretty balanced too.
No.
I'm gonna skip out on that. Thanks.
It's pretty dope. Except you can't. There's a mic in my forehead, but that doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Thing of it is,
We can't get too into this. We also have to talk. This is half of this is a podcast.
That's right. That's right. Oh wait, we're back. We're back doing the
The
stuff.
thing
right?
of it is, Dawson.
We're back doing the stuff. Okay. As we start our creations,
Wait, I thought we were gonna see what the thing of it is from Dawson.
Yeah.
It's already came in at 1, guys.
I am lost.
Hey,
Came in at 1.
you guys totally won by putting this in the inside because I totally lost. It makes no sense to,
I didn't.
to do
Dude,
that.
just use the edge of the bag.
I did no losing.
I want to do the design though.
Okay, so these are the roofs.
Damn it.
Fuck.
This is the front door. Oh, they're both front doors. Okay. This is some like high quality gingerbread. I'm about to kill y'all. In
And then
gingerbread.
next question. How does this ever lay flat? You supposed to eat that shit off?
It says break. It shows the break there, like a line to
Oh, I
break.
didn't see that.
But I don't know what you would do with that.
You eat it.
I think it might be a piece, but you ate it, so you went for it.
Dawson's hungry.
Yeah, bro. So this is way off. I'm gonna have to do some shaving if I actually want this to be. Oh man, I got a funky gingerbread house.
Oh man. Got to shape it.
Look at this. Oh, it's supposed to be like that. Oh, it's like an angle. It's kind of cool. I don't know how that's supposed to stay. We have two different. All right, well, let's do it.
Shut the front door.
Another door.
I think Dawson was right about this piece.
About what piece?
My piece right here.
Break it?
I don't not.
Oh, you definitely break it. I just don't know if you eat it directly after you break it off.
I think I'm gonna reuse it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sure it's probably meant
Yeah.
to be used.
Look, that's just gonna add another detail to my.
I want this in the front.
I remember why I hated these as a kid.
Yes.
Because I'm having a really hard time getting them to stay together.
Yep, that's the biggest piece of it all.
Need the icing as glue probably.
Yep.
It doesn't dry fast enough. You have to hold shit
I think I
together.
do
Really?
actually have an advantage though, because my family did this for a very long time.
Really?
Like
I've
the
never done this in my
gingerbread house
life,
making.
guys.
First with Devin.
This is actually really cool, Ben. Thank you for this.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing it.
I've never done anything like this.
Saw him at Kroger, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Didn't
awesome.
even really cross my mind for the podcast until I was like, we were talking about doing it, and then I
Right.
was like, oh yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I would say my secret that I think will help is if you hold it on and let the icing dry before you try to put another piece in.
Oh, on the bottom. Oh, thank you.
So like let this dry a little bit,
Yeah.
and then start getting the other one balanced in there.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't have patience. I want to just make it happen. Just make it happen.
Just make it
I
happen.
gotta get you that T-shirt. Make it happen.
That's my slogan.
What is the most memorable? What is the most memorable gift you guys have been gifted to you on Christmas?
Ooh, I've got it. No, that was my birthday. Never mind. Give me some time. Dawson, you got one? We're so focused on this. We're not gonna say a word this entire podcast. I specifically remember a Christmas where I don't know if it was the gift actually. It was just the Christmas.
Explain the Christmas. That's okay too.
My grandpa used to always read the Christmas story every night.
I've been after that the whole year.
Like the Christmas story.
Yeah, like the one with like the kids who get taken by the elves and the cute little story. He would always tell that story, and when I was a kid, it was really boring. I didn't get it, didn't care. But he passed away, and one year, pretty soon after, my dad did it. And listening to the story again, caring about it that way, like, damn, I'll never get to hear my grandpa tell this story
Wow.
again, was the first time where I clicked on how important of a story it was. It had nothing to do with, like I was always like, why are we telling the same story every year? But it wasn't that it was important to us, it was that it was important to Papa. Because he got to read that story every year to his family. So, like, I specifically remember that memory
That's really
to
cool.
this day.
Your memory is literally just like so different than like I feel like someone would be like, oh, I remember when I got my Xbox, or I remember when I got it, which is not bad. I'm not saying that's bad, but like that's cool that your first thought was that.
Yeah, I guess so. That is cool.
I would have to say coming downstairs and seeing guitar on a guitar stand.
Oh, that's
my first guitar. Like my dad knew I wanted to be like him because he grew up in a rock band, and I wanted to be a rock star like my dad. So I remember coming downstairs, seeing the Christmas lights, all the presents, but everything just disappeared. No! Oh!
I knew it was
I
coming.
don't think this is feasible.
No, it is. I just gotta get this piece.
Everything else just disappeared, and that guitar just was
saw
like,
that. You're like,
it was a black electric. It was from Walmart. You know, it's
no, that's
cheap.
exactly what I got. Dude.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It had white skulls on the middle of it, and instantly in the new year, I went to guitar lessons with shout out Steve from the Rock Shop, which is no longer a thing, which is sad. But the same teacher that taught my dad taught me, so it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet as hell. Dawson, you got one? Wait till he eat the icing. I just watched him chomp the icing.
I don't remember a gift because I just don't remember the gift really. I remember a specific Christmas though for a couple years in a row. I realized I didn't believe in Santa Claus anymore. And I thought that I wouldn't get the gifts if I told them like I know it's you, mom and dad, you know.
Yeah.
So my
So
ass.
sad, but like cute.
But this plays into my current personality as an adult. I lied for 2 years, and every time I like opened a gift, I'd be like, "Thank you, Santa!" Like just like played into it so hard,
Right.
knowing I didn't believe in Santa Claus
Right.
anymore. So I was trying to sell it because I didn't want them to think that I didn't believe in Santa
That's
Claus.
awesome.
I did that. I think I was like 10 or 12, probably 2 or 3 years in a row.
Did you get gifts from Santa and from your parents? Like,
No, it was always just Santa Claus
Really?
growing up.
Yeah, my parents actually never raised me that Santa was real.
Really? You always knew the fake?
Yeah.
Weird.
Apparently. I remember as a child believing, but I think that I was actually more of a memory of me having to pretend like I believed because I knew that it would hurt my friends' feelings.
Oh.
But yeah, my parents were big on like, if Christmas is really about like Jesus and the faith that we have, why are we telling him about this fake creature? The moment you get like Christmas in your mind is this really important thing, and then you learn that the thing you've been like basically worshiping your entire life is not real, it's pretty easy for you to not think anything else is too, that you can't see. So it's kind of their mindset of like, if we're trying to teach our kids about spirituality, why are we telling them right off the bat that there's something real and then lying for 10 years about it?
Where did that originate from? Do you know?
Christmas?
Like Santa Claus? Like
It's a faith-based thing, I'm pretty sure. Like
because that makes a lot of sense, Ben.
like Saint Nick being an actual saint. I'm pretty sure is a
Oh,
thing.
really? I thought it was just all BS.
No, there's a whole like backwards folklore story behind it, for sure. Guys, I'm so close. I'm so close. Come on. Come on. Guys, I have foundation.
Awesome.
Not in my life, just in my gingerbread house.
No, you have foundation in your life.
Oh my goodness.
It's within you.
It is. All right, I think we're good.
Microdose. I just learned what that was the other day on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to do it kind of low-key.
I don't know if I really wanted to say this on my podcast.
You don't have
I
to.
have done shrooms, and they are
Something.
different than what people say in a lot of ways.
But you
it's
did it
not-
recreationally. You didn't do it.
Oh
like-
no, I've never I don't get people who are like, I want to see God. Like, why would you want to
Scare yourself.
I don't know. You can see God in your life if you just get a bunch of the things that you get addicted to out of your head. So to find something else and get addicted to it to be more in tune with your spirituality, I feel like is just as much of a risk.
I do think that certain things like that, like shrooms or something, can allow people to open up maybe a passageway in their mind to spark that interest to take in their real life. I think that's what they're used for. I think it's more of a healing rather than a recreational, like, let's have fun. I think that's where it gets...
That's why I stopped too. Because I mean, like, I never really
Right.
I did it probably like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
But it was like, okay, I am right now using this as more of a recreational thing.
Yeah.
But every time you hear about it, there's a story or two of that one time where it started out recreational and it didn't end recreational. And like I kind of had that where it's just like a bad time, bad trip. But like in that I realized how much you really can deal with your own demons once you get into it thinking about the demons. And now it is a thing where, like, if I ever do it again, it will be to face some things that I've never faced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what I've realized it actually does give you a freedom to do.
Right.
I don't really think they're supposed to be recreational in any way.
No.
I think that's the mess. I think that's where people go wrong.
I think even with weed, people are realizing that recreational is probably not the best idea in a lot of ways, but it's too late to turn back. Telling people that they can just go smoke weed all day, every day legally is not the best for work drive of America. You know what I mean? Like, it does make you lazy. I can tell you that from experience.
Depends on the person. I know some people who can literally just get up and smoke in the morning and go run a mile. Like,
I do think it's important to normalize talking about this. I know that the world and our society and government and everything wants to take those types of creations away from us for whatever reason.
It's just a lot easier to control people that aren't, like, open-minded.
there's that, and there's also big
safety.
Farm.
Well,
there's also the fact that, like, they make a killing off of the fact that we are dependent on medication.
That's right.
All the stuff that
That's
they can.
right.
A healed customer is no longer a customer.
Right.
Yep.
So there's a lot of truth in the fact that
I've been
there's a lot of things we don't know because it's easier for us to just be.
Did you know that dandelions are one of the, like, leading fighters of heart disease, and Big Pharma actually, like, 50 to 100 years ago, started labeling it as a weed on purpose because it would
I believe it.
Make people
become an enemy of people, and they'd start getting rid of them on their lawns and stuff.
Yeah.
But in reality, it can literally, like, keep you from having a heart attack.
So that's where the government gets construed and suspicious. Now, going back to what the people think about it, based upon that, I think it's really easy to automatically assume that people have an addiction problem because of it, or it will.
Like the drugs brought up, or just because of that.
Yeah, or we literally most people in this world live to be safe. You know, they a lot of us have fear within us, so it automatically creates these judgments and assumptions in our mind.
Things that they're not used to.
Right, or not even open about. And ego has a lot to play within that because our ego is here to protect. And when things like that get brought up, our ego instantly comes in and be like, no, that is wrong. Yep. Where did that come from? The programming in school, health class, government, whatever that is. You never really got your chance to
decide on your own.
Yeah.
I like it, boys. We're getting real deep and intellectual.
I do
on
like
Christmas
it.
Special.
We're not influencing anybody to do anything. We're just keeping the space nice and open. And
I think that's a lot of the freedom that podcasting has opened up is I don't have to worry about what I'm saying because it's what I would say on the daily. I'm not worried about cancel culture.
Right.
I'm not
I loved
about
what you said in episode 1 about yourself when it comes to that. You really are putting yourself out on the line and you want to be who you want to be through this. And it's, I think in this own way, this podcast is bringing you a lot of healing, which is really cool.
It's really making me open up on I mean, it was my goal was to just not be a fake person on social media anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's really helped me where it's like all of my Instagram has become me just doing reels I enjoy, like fun filter stuff. And like, I'm not trying to be some professional. I'm not trying to get a bunch of professional photos. That's great for people who can do it, but I don't have the mindset for it. I understand. Have the, like, I get uncomfortable when there's like a camera in my face usually, unless it's something like this. But if there's someone saying smile for the picture, I can't. So like now.
Where's that come from?
I don't know. School photos maybe? I actually just get
knowing that everyone else is gonna see it.
No, knowing that everybody's like, if I'm posed up on a street side, I'm like everybody's watching me.
I get that to an extent.
Guys, I finished the fucking house.
Oh, cool. We did at the same time. Go off. I understand now that this is the top to the chimney.
See?
Whatever.
You're supposed to eat it.
Whatever.
It's okay.
Jimmy's overrated.
Or maybe I make it into like a dots tower. I don't know. Like a totem, maybe.
I have no idea what to do with that.
Yeah.
I think I can get away with popping this bad boy off and putting down some more. Okay, you want to fall.
How's it going over there, Dawes?
I'm going very slow and collected, and I think it's benefiting
I
myself.
like it.
Yeah,
I
I
like
understand that.
Oh yeah, that was my first taste of the icing. It's pretty dank.
Oh, it's so good.
Made me want milk.
That was your first time this whole time. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Usually I'd just be swallowing it whole, but I'm just gonna sit still for a little bit and watch this and make sure it's not gonna fall. You're doing the "that's just right" laugh.
We have a very faulty.
That's just right.
These are very faulty ceilings. Would you agree, Devin?
Can I see?
Be careful with that. You're scaring me.
Just give it a hug for a little bit, like 15 seconds.
Yeah, like hold
give it some
and
tension.
do not let it move.
Yeah.
Because the more it moves, the more the
Icing
lets go. That's why I'm like not even touching it, because I feel like the more I put stuff on, it's just gonna start falling apart slowly.
You know what I've always really wanted to do?
What is that?
What have you really wanted to
Completely
do?
off topic from this whole day.
Yeah.
Pottery.
Oh, bro, it's so.
I just want to like make clay pots on like.
That's
a spinning
really
wheel.
weird. I just had like this vision of you doing that. I think
You would look so good as a potter.
I know you would. Like it just looks. It kind of. That sounds like home to you.
Right? You give off major I do pottery.
Let's actually
vibes.
let this hit for a second. That is hilarious, bro. But that means like so much. Like you have so much patience and peace with yourself to be able to do that.
That's not what I was saying.
days.
That's not what I was saying. I'm just kidding.
What were you saying? What were you saying?
You literally look like you would make pottery. Like if I walked in and you were in this outfit and had clay from your elbows down to your fingertips and just looked at me, I would go, he's been doing that his entire life.
Oh, yeah.
He came out of the womb and they put clay in his hands.
That's just right.
Hey, Jax.
That's just right. Hey, baby girl.
He's coming to
She's
say
so
hi.
pretty. I forget how pretty she is.
It's crazy, bro. Anybody in the chat, let us know what kind of cat this is. We have no idea.
We already
Seriously.
know.
No, we've looked and we've literally
We've
found
come
like
to the
4
conclusion that
different
it's
types of
a
cats.
short hair, a short hair, a calico, and a Maine Coon mixed together.
You think?
That's what we talked about. We were little.
I was a little intoxicated. I was not there. That was after the Halloween party. Everyone who listens to the
We've
podcast
had this
knows that
conversation
Halloween
about
party
your
got
cat
ham.
many times though, Ben.
Yeah, we have.
Or maybe just twice.
This just ain't Holden. But you know what is Holden?
Oh!
My freaking gingerbread house.
Hey.
Dawson, I would say if you can sometime soon, pull the mic a little closer to you, but I can hear all of us and I can make it work. So.
Honestly, it's not in my way, so.
What was that?
I knew you had the headphones on, so I wanted you to hear that.
Yep. I am turned on. So
I told you Christmas makes everyone horny.
you're not wrong. I'm starting
It
to
does.
soften to it, but not
Pretty
actually.
Thank you.
softening.
That's the first time you actually accepted that.
I know.
But he's not soft.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh.
You delivered it better than I did.
You did.
All right.
It didn't.
Let's try to switch to this bad boy. So you went from the middle and it worked?
What is it?
You went from the inside and it worked like this?
You secured the bag.
Devin's is gonna look better because he has the decoration one. I didn't use that.
I'm trying.
I guess I could.
You should push it through. It works well. He has 2 bags. Did you put all your icing in one bag?
Your icing in one bag before hatches.
I don't really care.
Don't count all your icing before it. I can't think of a good way to make that.
The icing's on the floor. The icing's on the floor.
I really just really freaked out there for a second because your icing was on the floor.
Me too. I really freaked out when
I
my
didn't
icing
even
was
care.
on the floor. The moment my icing hit the floor, I freaked for a second.
We're going to have to sweep after this.
Yep. You mean you're going to have to vacuum?
What do you mean? What are you implying?
That you just dropped 15 nerds on the floor, Dawson?
2.
Count them.
I don't even count. I didn't even see one actually. But I did hear
You
it.
get a nerd. You get a nerd.
They're like 0.5 millimeter in diameter, so.
Yeah, but I have 20/20 vision.
Shut up.
I'm actually blind.
I have 20/20 vision.
The
I
reality
didn't
is,
say that.
I probably shouldn't drive.
Oh, I've been in the car with you many times.
And?
I attest. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't that bad. You were distracted for some of it, but aren't we all in this 2021 era?
I like the way that you just put that, Ben. Instead of calling him an absolute shit driver, you said you were
There were a couple times where he was just switching songs, and
Yeah,
we got a
exactly.
little close to the hood in front of, or the finger in front of us.
People are so
I do
quick
that.
to judge and
I don't give a fuck. I know I'm a good driver. My ADHD just hasn't
Right,
had a
has
hold
it.
on my whole life anyway, so.
Bro, I almost died the other day on the road.
That's
on the
why
way
I
to the
think
golf
pottery
course.
would be perfect for you, bro.
Yeah, that's
Same
what you
to me.
need.
What'd you say, Ben?
I almost died on the way to the golf course the other day.
Really?
No lie, like I got through it and was like, wait a second, that was like make or break. Like if
Wow.
I didn't pull that, I would be dead.
Oh my gosh.
was-
So did that cause you to have a better day?
No, I played terribly.
Oh.
I played terribly. But it was a good day. I mean, it was a new course that I hadn't been at in a while, so it was dope. But there's a Clarksville exit on the way to this course. It's on the far left. It's like the only exit on the left for this entire interstate.
Yeah, I don't think I've
And-
ever once seen that.
Yeah, and it's in the opposite direction that you would usually drive to, I bet. But I get to pretty much right at that exit, and I'm not taking it, but I'm in the left lane next to the exit lane. One car directly to my right, 2 lanes over, not car, an electric truck that, you know, the ones with the arms that extend out and they go to the like telephone poles. They're like the trucks with the entire crane on the back. I look to my right, and one of the trucks 2 lanes over is trying to get into the Clarksville exit through me.
Oh man.
And I have to speed
Are
up
you in the blind spot?
completely. So I see him, and I'm like, if I hit the brakes, I'm going to hit his back end.
Right.
I have to speed up. So I start speeding up, watching him in my rear view, and miss him by an inch. And I look up like, thank God that's over. A second truck realizes that he is missing the turn too because his buddy behind him is missing it and trying to take it, and cuts me off from 3 lanes over. So I not only have just sped up to like 85 miles an hour, I now have to full brake to like 45 and swerve 2 lanes to get around this truck. This truck, I'm talking like
They're massive.
I'm going 75 miles an hour down the highway at least, and this truck is going the parallel direction. Or not parallel, the
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
whatever the heck, the opposite
perpendicular.
perpendicular direction. So I had to, while this truck was here and I was already speeding up, hit the brakes and just turn around it. And I got out of it, breathed for a second. I was like, first off, I feel like I just went James Bond. Second off, I think I almost just died. And then I went and played golf poorly. That was my day.
Well, I'm so glad that you're still alive, Ben.
Me too. Look at that.
I'm looking at it. That is really awesome, bro.
I'm trying, but I'm running out of icing.
Wow. Oh, Dawson, that's really awesome, bro. Walk it like a dog.
That's a lot of icing. Not really sure if I'll regret that later, but we're gonna just work with it. I need enough to make the icicles. I need icicles. I definitely have OCD when it comes to these little things. Like all of the bottle caps have to be perfectly straight and say bottle caps in the same exact like lineup.
I'm the same way. Let's talk about quirks or mental illnesses you have. You got ADHD, Ben? You got
Oh,
ADD?
for sure.
You got OCD?
I don't. Okay, so my family was big on, which I actually love. My parents were, with the same reason that they're like extremely religious. They were very like, we go to the doctor when we're dying, but when we aren't, we try to just deal with it with our bodies. And I was like too young to get what we were really paying attention to there, but it was mostly just strengthen your immune system and try not to take medication for everything and just the ones you need. Doesn't really make sense when you just think about it or see it on paper. But like I think I've gotten the flu twice in my life. And like
It makes a lot of sense, actually.
yeah,
makes a lot of
I
sense.
just kind of like
Kind of goes back to what I said about Big Farm. A lot of things that
Right.
are natural are actually better for healing.
yep. And like when we think of, you know, cancer and how there's no cure for it and all this stuff, like the cure for cancer is don't eat most of the things we eat. Because the entire definition of cancer is like something your body already has the
foreign to what your
pieces
body
to
needs.
fight against.
So
No,
I-
but there's cancer in you right now. There's cancer in all of us, and we have blood cells that just destroy them naturally.
I really.
The moment you get cancer is when you're no longer, not all the time, but when your body can no longer fight them strong enough. And it usually comes down to things like diet and exercise and what your body has going on. It's not like every single person that just, you know, like the healthiest person on earth could, by some fluke, get it. It's just that a lot of times it does come down to your body's health and what you do for it. And I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm not saying that as like some haughty-taughty. That's just kind of scientifically proven.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had a lot of death in my family. My uncle died of cancer, but it wasn't a it was a like blood leukemia, and it came from pesticides on our farm. So like it wasn't like we had a reason to look and go, damn, we didn't know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's got to be like, I don't know. It's got to be probably one of the most painful things to just have somebody tell you, oh, you're gonna die, and we have no reason to tell you why. With what you were saying though, sorry. My parents were big on that, and they were also big on like if you have something going on with your head, even like you can overcome that. And I've actually kind of realized there's a large chance that. So I was homeschooled from 1st grade to 7th grade.
Wow.
And I think there's a large chance that it wasn't just traveling and all the things we wanted to do as a family that led to me being taken out of school. I think it was me. I have vivid memories of me being the class clown before I realized what that was and what that does to your character. I always would have like something I was insecure about that I didn't want people, like I would have something I needed to do and like didn't want people to look at me, so I'd make a noise making it look like I was trying to be the joke. Like I remember weird things that I can't even find all the memories to. But I think it's totally possible that some teachers were just like, hey, your son is not paying attention at all in class, and maybe said stuff along the lines of like take him out, maybe push him back or something, and my parents were like, no, we'll teach him. I don't know if that's true. Never really asked my parents about it, but it's a totally possible.
You should totally ask.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be a fun conversation on the podcast actually. Like when I have one with my family.
Isn't that really cool how you're able to grow up and start to understand these things and the practices your parents have put on you as a child?
Yeah.
And how much you maybe resented those as a child, but
and now you grow up and you're like, it's like what you're most thankful for.
I was forced to turn off my phone and put my phone up at 8 p.m. every night up until I was 17.
Wow.
In their room. So I would have, and they're like, you can go to sleep whenever you want. We're not giving you a bedtime, but
just don't be on your phone.
Yeah, you need your time with yourself, with your mind, and I think that has played into a lot of my self-confidence a lot. Awesome. Where I don't need something to constantly
stimulate that part of your brain.
Me. Yeah, thank you. And I'm more content with just sitting and waiting and, not feeling awkward about that, sitting just with myself.
That's one thing I've noticed about myself is if I'm awkward, I'm grabbing my phone and looking at nothing.
Yeah.
Just pretending like I have something to do so I don't look lonely.
Yeah. I know a few people, so does Dawson, that frequently do that as their habit. They tap their phone or they check their phone.
Yep. That's me for sure.
In times of, I don't know how to feel right now, let me go, stimulate myself and then I'll check back on it.
Yep.
Distractions.
I think it's just easy to do that. But yeah, I definitely think it's possible to have some form of ADD for a little bit. For a little bit, it looked like I had Tourette's because I have a really bad, like I've got chronic back issues since like 16 or 17. Something to do with baseball, I think, and a car accident all piled on. But
can we go back and talk about that?
What?
Your car accident?
Yeah, honestly, sure. I've never actually had that conversation on the podcast anyways.
So do a little explanation of like kind of what the whole rundown was and what happened.
Yeah. Have I even actually told you the story?
Yeah, it's incredible. Incredible in a way
I actually
of like
forgot, but now you did.
To look back and you're still here after that and things that you've had to go through.
Yeah, it's weird to think about that as like that's not even the last tragedy that happened in my life. Like I literally just started walking again.
Right.
But that one was a big one. That was like definitely the same way this has been a blessing in disguise with the ankle, as in like I see a completely new life than I would have before this happened.
Right.
I did tell you this because this runs hand in hand with the night I just like bawled because I told you about that on that night too. I think.
I think you told me we were driving to go play golf together. We were talking about girls in this situation. This was last year. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
But you showed me, kind of gave me the rundown of what happened, the picture of the image, and I didn't know that about you, because I think I asked you the question. I was like, why did you choose music, or like you went to, to Belmont and stuff, and then that all just came full circle.
I didn't really have like much of a.
And play baseball and.
I didn't really have much of a choice. I did, but once I looked at the reality of like. One of these places has interest in me, and one of them is just like I wanted to be a baseball player so bad. Baseball's been my life since I was a kid. And I was that warning track power, best contact on the team, usually like one of the higher averages from like my freshman year. I was playing a couple varsity games, and then by sophomore year I was a starter. And like I was good at baseball, but I was slow. The first thing you got to be is fast in baseball. Like the first test of every single tryout, walk on, anything like showcase is a 60-yard dash. That's from home to first to second is that distance. I would say the normal distance is probably like 6 to 8 seconds. Like 8 is slow. I probably was like a 9-10. Like I was so slow. So I'd be checked out from the moment of starting. And Belmont was the only school that I applied to that wasn't baseball. If I didn't make it into Belmont, I was going to go do a like D2, D3 baseball series of like 4 years and just like waste that amount of my life.
So you were heavily active in baseball.
Yep, that was my life.
Can I ask what the passion behind baseball was? What was baseball to you?
It was first sport. Like my dad was big on like I'm not gonna pick a sport for you. So I vividly remember my dad being like, "Look, Ben, I know you love football and I know you love soccer and you're really good at both of them. But you said you wanted to try out for baseball, and we're gonna go to the tryouts. But you got to know that one of them are going to have to be given up because we don't have time. The games are on the same times." And I picked baseball after all of the tryouts. I was the best on the team in football, and not like this is like 6 years old. I'm not like a pro or anything.
Yeah, but you had athleticism.
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
blood.
And I loved soccer and all these things. And I just dropped it. I was like, no, I want to play baseball. I'd done the tryout, and I was just having a blast with it. And from then it just became like my dream. It was
That's
I
awesome.
loved it. I was playing like showcases. I went to Germany and played with this team called Planet Baseball, and we played against like a German team,
I remember you telling me
Tokyo.
that was really cool.
Just every like Great Britain just demolished us. I went 1 for 8. It was like a 21 and up team, and I was 16. And it was just a blast. There were so many good memories with baseball, but
Cool.
I got to college thinking about all these things and wanted to play baseball, but my parents were like, you know, music's pretty big for you too. You should consider just like applying to one school. Belmont has a business degree that you get when you get the music business. So like I would graduate with a music business degree and have a business degree. And I went there.
Don't they give you like free studio time as a studio?
And I used that a lot less than I could have because freshman year you don't have that. You have
Like
to go
Caitlin
with,
Butcher's doing it in L.A.
you have to go with older people who have already gotten that permission once you're in, as a freshman at least. But I literally just tried out I just applied for Belmont. It was the only school I applied for. And I don't know. It was like, I didn't feel it at that point. I don't know if I ever really did, but I knew that I could walk on at Belmont if I really wanted to. So I ended up going to Belmont because it was the only school I applied for and they accepted me for music business. And that was my thing, was like, if I don't make it to Belmont, I play baseball. If I make it to Belmont, then there's something there and I need to chase it. And I went to Belmont for a year, ended up actually trying to walk on. That's like a whole nother little story. I like beat out everybody in the walk on, went in thinking I was going to make it. And they were like, look, kid, if you want to play, you can, but you're going to redshirt and then you're going to sit on the bench for 4 years of your career. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And they're like, yeah, and you're good at music. Why not follow it? And so like usually you think you're just going to be bawling your eyes out on the last day of baseball, but I walked out calling my dad like, I'm ready. I'm good.
That's awesome.
So I finally commit to this music stuff. I'm like getting kind of good at it, figuring it out. And I was already talking about my uncle. My uncle passes away. And so I go to see my family. And on the way back this isn't even like the funeral hasn't even happened yet. He just passed. I'm on the way back from Missouri to Nashville. Left side of the highway, it's like a 2-lane. Left side of the interstate, passing a semi. I look down to change the song on my phone and look back up, and in my rear view, I just see the brightest headlights I've ever seen in my life. And I'm thinking that dude's just a douche with really bright brights. And I'm talking like what I just said, I didn't even have the time to think about. I just saw the lights and remember going, those are bright. and impact. And my head just slams into the back of the seat. And it's kind of all of like glass shattering, a bunch of sound. And then I hear this, like, in my memories at least, I hear this like echo of my own screams. Like I'm very out of body type thing. I hear myself screaming like, no, please, no. Because I knew I was dead. Like I'm going 75 and a dude just hit me from behind going 100. I'm going like 90 miles an hour down the interstate. So I bounce off because he hit me on the back left. Or no, sorry, he hit me on the back right. This turns my car to the right, and I kind of just bumper car off of the semi. Nose dive into the ditch, kind of just, catch my nose in the ditch and then do like a 360, still just barreling down the grass in the median. And my driver's side kind of just wraps around the tree in the median that I hit. Like my car just kind of does a little wrap, just not a full wrap, but bent around the tree. And my driver's door is wrapped around the tree. But it was enough of an impact where my car slid off of that tree about a foot. So I'm just screaming. I remember every second I never went unconscious. I was screaming, no, please, no, please, no, please, no. Smack, you're fine. The words, you're fine, came out of my mouth. Wow. And I look at my door and I'm just looking at a tree.
Yeah.
I can't get out of that side. But I'm like looking around like, I am fine. Like I said it out loud to myself, like, whoa, you're right. But I know to this day, I did not say you're fine. Like something else. It was either I didn't say it out loud, but it was something speaking to me, just like you're fine. But it was my voice. And
But you didn't actually physically say it.
I had no idea if I was fine. It was impact.
You're
fine. Yeah. And so all this to say, like, I had a truck at the time. I had a GMC Sierra 98. Airbags might not even work. If I was in that truck, I would have been mush. But I had lost my keys that day and just really wanted to go see my family. And Nina, who is literally the last person on the podcast. This is one of the biggest reasons we're so close, among plenty other. But she gave me her car that day and was just like, be careful with it, but take my car. And I took a really tiny little car, and it's the only reason I didn't flip on that ditch. So partially the only reason I'm alive is because of Nina Mussolino, and that's cool. Wow. But looking back, yeah, I mean, it took me out for about. I had a brain bleed from impact in the car. Actually, the tree that the car hit, my head apparently hit as well through the glass. Because when I got to the hospital, he's like, "What's on your face?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It's tree bark." And he picked it off my face. He was like, "You have an indentation that looks like a tree on your temple, which is like the most sensitive place in your head." But I was fine. I had a scrape on my face, and they actually sent me home before they realized I had the brain bleed. So they had to pull me back in for a couple days.
Right.
But I think I would have been able to go back to Belmont pretty easily and get everything going had they not put me on this anti-seizure medication. That knocked me, that changed my brain. And I, like suicidal thoughts, screaming at my parents and then dropping to the floor crying. Like, it was not their son. It was not me. And that took me out for even more. And by the time I got back to Belmont, there were 2 classes that were like, yeah, you could probably still pass if you came back. And the rest were like, sorry, man. So I ended up dropping out and just saying, look, if I think I could do this with the connections I've made, then I need to do it. Moved back here within a year. And now I'm here with some homies making a podcast, making gingerbread houses.
Yeah, to summarize the whole thing, what if there's anyone watching right now that has gone through a similar incident of an accident or a life-changing...
I like where this question's going.
Yeah, a life-changing event. What would you say to them now that you're 2-3 years out of that?
Life keeps going.
This is going to sound really shitty, but you're not a victim. I've had 2 situations now where it's like my life just changed and I didn't really have too much of a hand in it or too much control of it. The first one was pretty easy for me to just go like the first one I remember crying to you guys being like, I remember thinking that was my life-changing moment and not feeling like my life had changed. And I think when you get into a big situation like that, you feel like you have to look at yourself different and look at your life differently. But sometimes it's okay to just be exactly who you were before if it wasn't your fault and it wasn't someone that you were that got you into that place.
Yeah.
Were you hard on yourself because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming around to this situation with the ankle, like breaking my leg, I, for the first time, was like, wow, something I couldn't help really did happen to me, and I'm like messed up. And for a while, I was a victim. I was like, I got drugged on Midtown. I woke up in the hospital. No one knows how. No, the cops wouldn't help me. Nobody helps me. I didn't deserve any of this. And I was depressed when I was already depressed. I couldn't walk. I didn't need that extra. And I think if you can just get out of it and go, damn, I'm alive. There's nothing to be sad about.
Right.
Like, that is enough to just hold on to. And I'm not saying, like, if you were just absolutely just given the short end of the stick by life, I get it. But you don't have to make that your story. You know what I mean? Like, I've been able to do 10 episodes with some of my favorite people and just have a good time. And, like, now the conversation's out here and everything like that. But
Life
I didn't
goes
want
on.
to. Yeah, I didn't want to make it.
Life does go on.
I didn't want to make it the main piece of this podcast or my life, because it's not. It's what made me realize what the biggest pieces in my life were.
I love that.
That experience isn't the life changer that I start like revolving my life around. It's the life changer that made me realize what was important. And so if you just like start following on to like all of your failures and all of your doubts and all of the things that happen to you, you're never going to like outshine them, if that makes sense. That's what I would say.
Don't let it get to, like, take over your life.
Yep.
Afterwards.
Dawson, would you give me a 2 orange one of these, please? I'm missing my aesthetic right now.
Got one.
You
I
got
two.
one? Cool. Thank you.
I'm really paying a lot of attention to this road right now.
I'm sorry, podcast, but I am
Well, I'm
obsessing over what my house looks like.
for sure.
Yeah,
And-
Dawson's been just doing like classic like little.
I want to pull Dawson into that same realm of that out of body experience you have right before an event of which you may die.
Thank you so much for taking control of this part of the podcast, because I am paying too much. I'm paying too much attention to this, and
It's
like you're
not
actually
even-
forcing conversation.
No,
so
it's
that's
not
very
even the
good.
podcast. I just love learning.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a good
so-
place for us to just chat.
Can I also have a blue one? And that's the
and
last
he,
one I need.
And he needs things from you.
So I need you. I want you to break down your story of your accident and kind of what
I
you
told you about it.
kind of what
you
you
have, but-
saw. You know.
Yeah.
You really have that much. I know you told me of it, but I don't know if I.
No, I could go deeper. I kind of just always do.
He just mentions it.
I just mention it and glaze it over. But
feel that.
no, I mean, how old was I? I was probably, well, I had to obviously be 16. I think I got my license that August. I turned 16, got my license. And then that January is when I had the wreck. So, old friend of mine, we're no longer really friends now, but my best friend at the time, we were driving down some county road.
I don't think I know this.
Sure you do.
I didn't know you were with a friend.
Wow, do I glaze it over more than I thought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. So we were going down some county road. If you know, if any of y'all listening know where Alton, Missouri is, or even
There's a
where
few.
even
There's a
where
few.
Ben's from, that kind of area is just filled with crazy, twisty roads.
Oh my God! I remember.
That's how you get to any town in our area.
You
I mean,
have to
Dawson's
go
an hour
through-
from me,
But
but like it's Missouri.
in the middle of
It's
nowhere.
Missouri.
It's also so much fun because I took my
It's a
Mustang.
lot of fun, but if you're not paying
Oh,
attention,
yeah.
I took my Mustang down to
Need for
see Dawson.
Speed
Alton.
shit, bro.
Oh, I was zooming. So we were on the way to St. Louis. I was like, wee.
On the way to St. Louis, you probably passed my high school.
Probably.
probably. Yeah. So that's just how the roads are there. They're crazy. But you know, we were in such a small town that, like, you know, you hear about like in music, usually country artists, like just in the lyrics, it's like trucks, dirt roads, girls, and that is really actually because that's exactly what you do for fun.
Like seriously,
Like
I
there's
hate
no
it.
parties. There's no like.
I hate it, but
You also love it.
everyone in my area that like it lives that life. I mean, it speaks right to them. They listen to every single one of them because they're not exaggerating. Like they go to
That's
work,
what you
they
do.
come home,
That's cool.
they drink some beer with their friends, and they get turned around a campfire with their trucks. That is literally like that's every high school party I had was a bonfire.
Because there's no Top Golf. There's no.
Yeah, you don't have those little-
It's like you build a fire, you go outside, and you hang out.
There's a gas station and a corner store in most towns. that
That's
we
all
live
I
in.
have. There's one gas station in my whole town, no stoplights. But all to say, Very rural place, very windy roads, and we were just doing what we usually do: drive down a random highway and see where it goes. You know, that's what you do. And we were doing that, and I remember just going pretty fast. Like I was going a good 65
So you were
down to
driving?
55. I was driving. I was in a truck lifted 8 inches off the ground, had a lift kit.
Oh, you guys.
So extremely top heavy.
I know where this is going.
I had a really nice truck in high school. It was my dad's older one. He got a new one. And that's pretty sad I wrecked it. But, yeah, I was driving that around. Very top heavy. Was not going to be good if I ever came to a situation where I might wreck. But I remember to my left, I saw like a giant buck, like a huge deer, just in the ditch. And I looked over at the deer. I was like, oh my God. And I like slapped my front leg. I'm like, bro, look at this deer. And because it was huge deer. But about that time, I just took myself off the road for just a second. I realized the road turned. Like I think it was a 15-mile-an-hour curve, just like a complete U, like going back the other direction. And it was that, or as the road turned, it's like almost as if there used to be a highway there. It turns into gravel, and it's just like a county road, highway to county road going straight, and the highway turns and goes back the other way. So it's this really weird and like situation going on. But at first glance, I was like, oh cool, like the road still goes straight. I thought the county road was the highway for a split second. And then I think that's part of what went wrong, is because like if I knew instantly that the road was turning, I probably could have slammed my brakes quick enough. But there was a split second where I thought it was okay. Like it was just going to keep going straight. So that didn't happen though. Like I kind of like fumbled on which way to go. And then I just like halfway took the county road, halfway took the highway. Like I straddled right where they like separated. And then I just like, I hit the culvert with my back right tire. And it flipped my truck over, spun it in the air twice, hit the ground, flipped it again.
This road. You haven't told me.
Rolled it again, 5 times in total, 2 times in the air. And every time I hit the ground, though, my tires hit the ground. So we were never smushed or anything. Like, it was just pure craziness. Yeah, I rolled over 5 times. I remember, like, there's 2 key moments I remember of that whole thing. Like, I kind of just, like, for a second was, like, above my truck. Like, I was just floating above my truck, watching my truck flip. Like, completely out of body. Like, it makes you think, like, if you ever question, like, an afterlife or, like, a heaven or hell, or, like, if you're even aware when you die. Like, if you ever have that question, if you go through a traumatic thing like that, it almost confirms that there's something. Some people just may not know what. But for me, it confirmed that, like, there's a lot more to life than what we're even capable of understanding. And I literally watched my truck and my friend flip, and like almost like could see a silhouette of me in the car too, but I was above the car watching them go. It was really odd. And then I kind of watched the truck, and then I watched it almost hit like this giant oak tree, like this 2 foot wide, so probably like 6 foot around oak tree that we were like a foot away from wrapping around. Tree buddies. And then that was all I remember of while it was happening. And then the second we like stopped rolling, I remember like glass in my hair and like glass all over the place. We ended up landing upside down though. Like we never hit the ground until the last roll, and we were upside down. Me and my buddy just dangling by our seatbelts. And
Do you think you guys were gone if you weren't wearing your seatbelts?
I honestly, man, I don't think I was wearing my seatbelt. I think he was. I have this weird thought of I got so lucky, and I think I'll get to that in a second. I looked over at him, and I was like, bro, are you good? And he's like, yeah, man, you all right? And we both realized, like, we're fine, just a couple cuts and glass in our hair, like, completely untouched, basically. And then, like, we just, like, crawled out of the car. We could barely get out of the car because the windows were crushed and everything. And there was my side from when we landed upside down had completely smushed, so the ceiling was like right on my head, and I had to hunker down to even get out. Wow. Yeah, and we were so back in the middle of nowhere, backwoods, that it took like an hour before anyone drove by. We had no service, nothing to call anybody. Luckily, though, like 30 minutes after we had crashed, someone drove by on their way home, and they pulled over. We called.
Is it cold?
It was January, so it was like 40, 30. And they called the cops for us, and if we had been really injured or crushed or been in a situation where we couldn't get out, we would have been dead by the time the cops could get to us. But we got super lucky. And I remember like my whole family showed up, like my grandparents, my uncle, my mom.
Wow.
My best friend's dad was the cop, the sheriff. So he showed up. He's like, "What the fuck is wrong with y'all?" Like just get hating on us. Now that he knows that we are like okay, he was just like, "What the fuck, guys? You could have died," you know.
Right.
But I was really close to his family at that point too. So all of our families were there. So there's like big ordeal. Everyone was like worried about us and everything, and but it just like it was really traumatic. In the sense, like, you'd never think anything like that would or could happen to you when you're that age. And I don't know, it made me a more cautious driver. Like, not more cautious, more like, what's up?
Finished.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Now I like tense up when I go around tight corners or anything. Like I always slow down for a curve.
Do you have like second nature? Like I hit the brakes when people are like not hitting the brakes when I would. I get like but I have to hold it back because it's like they wouldn't know that I have like literal like PTSD with seeing cars too close. There was a point like right after the accident where my buddy Grant was just driving way too close to a car and I screamed, and he was like, "What the heck?"
Dang.
And I was like, I didn't know that was coming.
Wow.
Like I literally had a flashback, like ah, and there was nothing to be scared of. He was just coming too close to a car. Like I had to deal with some trauma for a couple of years.
So what's cool about what relates
Before
to...
you move on,
Yeah.
though, you were almost about to ask. Someone asked me something. I said I'll get to that in a second. What were we talking about? I completely forgot about it.
Your friend, something about your friend, but I don't remember either.
I think
No, I remember. I think the seatbelt thing and my friend.
Yeah.
For him, I know he was wearing a seatbelt, and I remember like after the wreck, he was just like on adrenaline and just like chill, like weird, and I was like, oh, this is interesting because I don't actually think I was wearing a seatbelt, and he obviously was completely fine, but I was too. But I was also at the same time not talking about the fact that I'm confused that I'm okay, because I didn't tell him I wasn't wearing a seatbelt because I think I was in shock that I was actually there because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt and we rolled 5 times. I don't even know if I told my mom and dad this, but I was not wearing a seatbelt. And it's just like,
you used to wear a seatbelt now, don't you?
oh, I am anal about seatbelts.
Me too.
My dad has to wear a seatbelt if I'm in the car. Like, he'll try not to wear a seatbelt. We'll have like a brief fight if he's not
It's
wearing a
because
seatbelt.
it was legal back then for our dads.
There's
Crazy.
a certain weight limit too, still where it's legal in Missouri.
Wow.
But this was also right before I decided I wanted to do music. And I kind of took it as like, at that point in my life, I was like super anal about grades in high
Sorry
school.
for the
and
noise.
You're cool. I was super anal about making sure I had like a 4.0 GPA or higher. Like I wanted to be a doctor or a vet or some kind of therapist
Right.
or like some big thing in medicine. I was super intelligent, and that was my goal, was to just be that. And there was something in me that switched after that where I thought like, that's not really what my calling is. That's not really what I'm supposed to do. Like I could do a lot more for the world if I was doing something else. And then like shortly after that, I started doing music. And I think that was what that whole thing was for. The whole reason like I wasn't wearing a seatbelt and still lived was like there was something else I needed to be doing in life.
Oh,
And it wasn't
100%.
that. And I really think I was given a second chance because I should have died.
Right.
Regardless if we hit the tree or not. We flipped 5 times and I was not wearing a seatbelt.
And the I think the coolest part about all of this, like the story, just listening is really cool to both of y'all's. But the coolest part and the most intriguing part is that you guys had that kind of out of body experience.
Both of us, yeah.
Yeah, and like you heard something and you saw, yourself and stuff like that.
I know that was me screaming.
Right.
It sounds like a girl. Like I remember, like
Yeah.
there is a certain level of fear that I didn't know I could hit, where I was screaming, I was begging for my life in that car. It was weird, bro.
I think it's really cool to make the point that there is a spirit inside of us, and that God does flow through us. And He, or whatever it is, lives within us. And in those moments, you have the ability to reconnect with that. Now,
Or just pretend like it was
forces
all
you.
you. A lot of people take
Right,
that and they
exactly,
go, "Oh, wow, I
exactly.
would've," you know, other people are weak. They wouldn't be able to do it, but I did.
right.
But
There's something in us, you know.
Yeah, so it's really cool to know that we do have that within us, and that we should pay more attention to it, and that you can actually connect to it no matter what circumstance. You don't have to get into a car accident or have some major thing happen to you to
It's
be able to
literally
connect
always
with it.
there. You don't have to go through something.
It's in every cell.
Awaken that in you, but
It's in every cell of your body. And
when
if
you're
you just-
young though, and you have a traumatic experience like that, it really shoots you forward in that whole walk of like your higher self or like being connected to a greater something. Because when you're that young, you don't think about that much, like a bigger picture or like all these things, like how the meaning of life. You don't think about that when you're young, but when you go through something like that where you almost die young, it almost makes you an old soul the rest of your life. Like you just know how fragile life is,
Wow.
how quickly things can end,
Right.
how important.
So are
it
you
is
guys
to
both
be real.
thankful for it? Like, do you have gratitude to what?
Thankful for
has-
the experience, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wouldn't be with you guys if I was at Belmont.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was
Everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah.
the ankle in a lot of ways a blessing in disguise, but I think the biggest blessing in disguise I've ever been gifted was being hit from behind at 100 miles an hour because
You can hit it from the back.
not that way. But it was like
Sorry.
it was just like a big piece of the puzzle for like why I can appreciate my life. And it was a lot of it did come from that like thing I said earlier, don't be the victim. Like some of it was like I was so worried about being different and learning from what I had, you know, experienced. But what is there to learn from you went to go see a dying or see family after other family died and someone hit you with their car? Like I was looking for so much meaning in something that there was no meaning to. And it was because that doesn't really come into play until like 3 years later when I'm at my peak of music production and writing and stuff because I just focused on it while I was in Nashville. I didn't have
It
a bunch
made
of...
you put in like that crunch time.
It made me just stop assuming that I had to pay $50,000 for every semester and tell a bunch of professors who actually were bitter about the fact that they didn't really kill it in the industry. Because most of, like, I was talking to it with, I think, Miles the other day. It's like, Miles right now, I'm going to brag on him. I mean, day-to-day for Low Cash, day-to-day for Craig Morgan, just a heavily connected soul. But he's literally like, when we were students, his dad just was like, yo, you're managing this show tonight. And he had to go 30 minutes down the road and just go manage for a band he didn't even know. Like, the dude's bred for this. And there was a point when he was in Belmont just talking to some of his friends, like, do you guys trust any of these people? Like, not the teachers, just the people around him. And it's like, if you really look around, there's not that many people who are there just to succeed and to do the right things. There's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of people that you really can't trust. And Miles was just kind of saying, like, I feel like no one noticed that all these people kind of sucked. And the same way, it's easy to, like, forget that the students aren't all there for the best reasons. The teachers... 90% of them were really killing it maybe in the 80s or 90s, and then something didn't work, and Belmont became their fallback, or a college became their fallback that pays the bills. But they're not there to teach you how to succeed. They're honestly kind of there to vent about how the industry screwed them over. Like, a lot of teachers were just talking shit on the entire industry and not teaching anything. And I think that's a big issue with a lot of, like, schools where you're told that you're going to go learn,
Right.
but they don't have that much to teach you because life teaches you everything. And so they just start getting you into politics and getting you into things that really are not their business to get you into. And
Wow.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, you got to expect it. Liberal arts college, it's going to happen.
I gotta say that Gingerbread house entryway is magical.
Thank you. That's the only, look how much they get. This is all I had to decorate. So it's like I put some bottle caps on top, made a snowy top. And now the only thing I can work on is my
You
entryway.
really used the snow to your advantage. It's beautiful. I think out of the 3 homes, the most cozy and warm looks like yours, just because the entranceway is like, ooh,
Please come inside.
yeah.
I'm going to hell.
Dawson started off the podcast.
Are you boys
For
almost
me,
done?
Christmas is Jesus. By the end.
Let's wrap it up now.
No, I'm nowhere near done.
One thing I'm sad about.
Really, we gotta get out of here, brother.
No, we're fine. We're fine. One thing I am sad about is that we didn't have gingerbread men. Usually they come with one gingerbread man, and I wanted us to have like a skit between our gingerbread men where I was going to zoom in on all the gingerbread men. But it is what it is. Hey, there is another piece that you said you said you had a card.
A card.
Some type of Christmas.
No!
Oh yeah,
I'll sweep.
You're vacuuming.
Don't
More
even
than
address
15
it.
nerds, Ben.
Cut 45 minutes ago to when I said Dawson had to vacuum because he dropped nerds all over the floor. That was me telling the future.
Yeah, what the hell?
I mean, we could pick them up.
I mean, like
Yeah,
right
you
now?
said you had a Christmas card.
No, we got it. What's up?
You said you had a Christmas card. And Dawson said something along the lines of something I'm not allowed to open on a podcast, but
No, you can do whatever you want. It's just
we're going to
you
open
want
it on the
this to
podcast.
be-
I just might blur it
You
out.
probably will have to because they're going to block this on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding.
Oh, you already have it. Wow. Okay. That was cool. I just looked away and it was there. Okay. So should I like show them first?
Just do whatever you want.
Already 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh, it's basically okay. I got one of these last year. These are my favorite every year. Okay, I'll read it first, and then you can see it. Merry Christmas, you slut. Tickle my titties and call me your favorite fragrance. Love you, bro. the slut club. Thank you.
Tell me your favorite fragrance. Come on, do it, you slut.
That's so funny.
Come on.
I'm just trying to think of what my favorite fragrance is downstairs. Hawthorne Work and Play.
Sounds really slutty. Add that to the collection.
Yeah, dude, this is going up. This is going up straight on. I'm gonna put it on my computer monitor so that I can't even see what's on my computer. I just see your smile.
All right.
Oh, and there's $5,000 in here.
There you go.
Everybody listening at home, don't feel like checking that out on YouTube because you won't be able to see it. It's actually cryptocurrency and it's invisible.
It's true.
But he gave me $5,000.
It's already on the blockchain.
Yep.
Dawson.
Dawson, what's the gift I'm not allowed to open on the podcast, but I'm going to open on the podcast?
I can't wait.
You can also wow, dude.
Why am I so artistic?
Yeah, you did really well.
The jelly bean.
Yeah.
I mean the nerd like lines.
Yeah.
That's sick. And you got you turned this gap into something stylish. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm made for this.
We killed this, guys.
We did really well, guys.
We'll do this and then we'll open up the gift and
I am an
we'll
artiste.
call it a day.
I'm gonna eat the rest of the icing I got.
Oh. I need what's in that box. I'm just kidding. You want it? I'm not gonna eat a whole thing of icing. That would be I really want to, but yeah. Now give us a pit. Like we're walking into this home, and
Welcome to Devin Hayes Real Estate. I am Devin, and I am going to sell you on the most beautiful home. It is top tier. It is a cozy cabin for you and five others. We have five.
Pay attention to the real.
We have 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms. If you're asking about what the half bathroom is, it is right when you walk in because, after a long drive, you want to go to the restroom. So right when you open the door, you see a... That is a sturdy...
Did you plan to just punch right through that?
It's incredibly sturdy. You cannot get into it. So volcanoes, anything happen to it.
He made a brick!
You're protected. You're really safe.
The end of every one of ours has to be us beating the crap out of
No, I want to keep my.
But yeah, can we keep them up for a little while just to?
Yeah.
Thank you. I like the spirit of it.
Can we do it like on the January episode, like an extra clip?
I
of
think
us
next time we do podcast, we should keep them up until then,
and then beat the
crush
crap
them.
out of. Okay, that's fine.
Good
That's
idea.
fine, that's fine. So, how many bedrooms?
So we got 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and this is going to come at a cost of $180,000. Now, this is a 40% raise up from last year, but we know how the market is.
I'm just going to cut to the
Pop
case
one
here,
off.
guy. I don't have $180,000.
Well, that's okay because the down payment only has to be like about $10,000 to $15,000 with a 3.5 interest rate. So as you pay off your mortgage and you pay off your interest, you then build
No
credit.
one cares about what we're doing
And
right
you
now.
have a I'm literally
I'm trying to slow us down here because it's getting out of control. I don't have that money, sir.
Okay.
Do you have any more like the size of a porta potty for like 100?
Give me a hug and I'll give you the house.
Nice.
And that is what Christmas is about.
Giving away gingerbread.
That hug comes with interest.
Here you go. I'll close this off.
Yep.
What are we doing?
You're telling us all about this.
You're a real estate agent, Dawson.
You're
Freshly flipped. We're on HGTV right now. This used to be an ostrich house. They used to have ostriches in there, and they would have like nest boxes and everything, and it was really tiny. So the ostriches would go in there, they would lay their egg, and then they would go back outside to the runway. You know what I mean? That's what it used to be, but we flipped it. So it's a very small house. Keep that in mind, because it used to be an ostrich house.
I have headphones on. Just give me a t-shirt.
You're bringing me a lot of
Do I
light.
hear 40K? Do we got 40K? 40K over there. We got 40K. Do I hear 405? 405, 405, 405, 405, 401K. We got 401. Do we got 402? 405, 405, 405. Do I hear 405 for the guy with the kitty car shirt? 405,
I was
405,
saying I was
405,
gonna give up my
405.
life savings.
Solo 405 to the guy in the kitty game. This is the best looking house I've ever seen in my life.
Now I know where to put my ostriches.
Get in there.
Good job.
This is what I thought was the truest gift for the podcasting host, and ended up being the biggest curse. As you can see, the only thing that really is impressive about this is that I got it to stand up. Because
I think everything about it is
Everything
impressive.
is so beautiful.
oh wait, I forgot. It looks beautiful from the front. So that's what I was
From
looking
the front,
at.
it is-
No. No, we're not hitting my gingerbread.
Can I
Hit it from the bag.
skip it?
Okay.
Skip it.
See it on your face, like I don't want to do that one. Anyways, I ran out of icing, and also none of the things they gave me were decorative. There were bottle caps and nerds. So
Yeah, hell.
I made my front door all of the icing, and front. Then I made a nerd
Oasis.
front yard,
Bushes.
a nice little walkway. If you walk inside, you will notice that the walls being like this make it really fun to put mirrors everywhere. You just
Make everything bigger.
toss a couple lights up, disco ball, and now you got a whole party, bro. That's a gingerbread trap house.
Come on now. Come
We
on now.
listen to Gingerbread.
Auction it off. Let's go.
We listen to gingerbread.
I think my favorite
house
part
music
about your
in
house
there.
is the snow jizz.
I didn't need that.
Sorry, Christmas, man. It's just a
Dun,
it's
dun,
holiday.
dun, 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 dun. No, I'm just kidding. This has been with Ben Becker. I'm Ben Becker. These dudes aren't, but they were with Ben Becker. This is Dawson Huckabee. Who are you with?
Ben Becker.
This is Devin Hayes. Who are you with?
The Holy Spirit.
And Ben Becker. But also,